Ever wondered if the Romans, masters of the Mediterranean, ever reached the Far East? We all know about Marco Polo and the Silk Road. But what if he told you that long before him, Roman sailors were embarking on incredible, perilous journeys to the distant lands of India and even China? This isn't some historical fantasy. This is a story of ambition, adventure, and a global trade network that existed 2,000 years ago. Let's uncover the secrets of Rome's forgotten voyages to the east. The story starts not with a grand imperial decree, but with the insatiable Roman appetite for luxury. Spices like pepper, cloves, and cinnamon, silks, precious gems, and exotic animals were all the rage among Rome's elite. The traditional land route, the Silk Road, was long, dangerous, and controlled by middlemen, especially the Parthian Empire, Rome's bitter rival. Every toll and every checkpoint made these luxury goods astronomically expensive. The Romans needed a better way, a direct route. They looked to the sea. For centuries, the Indian Ocean was a mystery to the Greco-Roman world. Its seasonal monsoon winds were unpredictable and deadly to the uninitiated. But around the 1st century BCE, a breakthrough happened. Greek and Egyptian sailors, now under Roman rule, learned the secret of the monsoon winds from Arab and Indian traders. They discovered that by harnessing the summer winds, they could sail directly from the Red Sea ports of Egypt, like Berenice and Myos Hormuz, straight across the open ocean to India. The return journey was just as ingenious, catching the winter monsoons back home. This was a game changer. Suddenly, a journey that could take years overland could be completed in a matter of months. Roman ships, larger and more robust than ever before, began to set sail in fleets. We're talking about hundreds of ships a year making this incredible voyage. Archaeologists have found Roman coins, pottery, and glassware scattered all along the Indian coast, from Barbaricon in modern-day Pakistan to the legendary port of Muziris in Kerala, southern India. Muziris was the epicenter of this trade, a bustling, cosmopolitan city where you could hear Latin and Greek spoken in the streets alongside Tamil and other local languages. The Romans brought gold, wine, and fine ceramics, and in return, they filled their ships' holds with pepper, so much pepper, in fact, that it was called black gold. Warehouses in Rome were literally filled to the brim with it. Ancient Roman cookbooks are full of recipes calling for Indian spices, a testament to how integrated these goods became into Roman life. But this trade wasn't just about goods. It was about an exchange of ideas, cultures, and knowledge. Indian embassies visited the court of Emperor Augustus, and Roman artisans may have influenced Indian art and sculpture. It was the first real era of globalization. But did they stop at India? This is where the story gets even more fascinating. While direct voyages to China were extremely rare and incredibly dangerous, the Romans were certainly aware of the land of seers, the land of silk. Most of the Chinese silk that reached Rome still came overland, but there's compelling evidence of a maritime connection. Roman merchants would sail to ports in India or Sri Lanka, where they could trade directly with Chinese junks or other intermediaries who had made the journey through the Strait of Malacca. Chinese historical texts, like the Book of the Later Han, actually record the arrival of what they believe to be an embassy from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius in the year 166 AD. These envoys didn't travel overland. They arrived by sea, coming through the South China Sea. They presented gifts of ivory and rhino horn, likely acquired in southern Asia, to the Chinese court. While this was probably a group of enterprising merchants rather than official diplomats, it shows the incredible reach of Roman commerce. They had made it to the doorstep of the Han dynasty. Archaeologists have even unearthed Roman glass and coins in Vietnam, Thailand, and as far east as Japan, all dating from this period. These weren't necessarily carried by Roman sailors themselves but show how far Roman goods traveled along these ancient maritime networks. Imagine a Roman coin, minted in the capital, passing from hand to hand, from a Greek sailor to an Indian merchant, to a Malay trader, and finally ending up in the hands of a Chinese official. The journey of that single object is mind-boggling. So why did this incredible era of maritime trade come to an end? Like all great things in history, it was a combination of factors. The crisis of the 3rd century in the Roman Empire led to economic instability and civil wars. Rome simply couldn't afford the massive trade deficit anymore. Too much gold was flowing out of the empire to pay for Eastern luxuries. At the same time, the Han dynasty in China collapsed, and new powers rose, and fell along the trade routes. The security and stability that had allowed this network to flourish began to crumble. The secret of the monsoon winds was never truly lost, but the grand, state-supported scale of the Roman voyages faded into memory. When we think of ancient Rome, we picture legions, aqueducts, and the Colosseum. We rarely picture Roman ships navigating the treacherous Indian Ocean, their crews gazing at foreign stars, their merchants haggling in bustling Indian markets. But this forgotten chapter of history is crucial. It shows us that the world was far more interconnected in antiquity than we often imagine. These daring sailors weren't just traders. They were pioneers who connected two ends of the known world, bridging continents and cultures in a way that wouldn't be seen again for over 1,000 years. The next time you add a dish of pepper to your food, remember the incredible journey it once took, and the Roman adventurers who risked everything to bring it to their world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next historical deep dive. See you next time.